Okay, so what we're going to do is if say you wanted to add some eyes or a hat or anything like that to our biped character, there's a kind of a simple way that we can do this, and then there's actually a few different ways. If we don't want to add it to the actual skin but just have it follow, the way to do that, let's go over that first. So just to add some additional mesh that will actually just follow along with the character, and then we'll build a quick hat and some eyes for our character, and then I'll also show you how to get it skinned to the object if that's the route that you want to go. Like if you were going to take something over to a game engine, you'd want all that mesh to be skinned and not the way we're going to just go about doing a parent constraint situation. First thing that I'll show you is actually just how to do a parent constraint situation. So we'll go to polygon primitive spheres and then just bring that up. So let's go. I'm just hitting F to frame and then scale, and then just bring this forward. So just scaling this, just making like some simple shaped eyes. Kind of cartoony looking. Just kind of simple discs, actually. So I'm just rotating and putting into place. So scale, and then I'm gonna just rotate that like that. And from here, so let's call this I. And from here, we want to add a new material. So assign a new material, and we'll go, actually we don't want Fong, we want Blend. So with that blend, we can put our color to be, select our color to be black. And let's see, diffuse, I want all the way up. Translucence to be down. The speck fall off just a little bit. We want that a little bit tighter. And so I like to have that like, maybe like 0.2 and 0.175 where it's at. A little bit more. We can have it be pretty reflective just because eyes are reflective. So that will do for now. So let's name this I underscore matte, and we'll select that mesh and do a mesh mirror, and that'll give us our eyes. So with that, if I just I want this one and this one, and we're going to just do a mesh combine. So mesh combine. Then with this selected, we can just name this I mesh and do an edit, delete by type history, and that'll get rid of all the other garbage in there. So what we want to do with this, I'm actually going to just make the biped character the parent. So just P. So select the iMesh and then select biped character and P. And then what we want to do is select the joint, the head joint, and then grab that iMesh. I'm just control clicking on iMesh, and then we want to go to rigging, constrain, and then make sure our parent offset is all still the same. And so now we have a parent constraint on this. So now when we select this, you'll notice that those eyes stay with. So with that, I'm actually going to just save this for now, and then going to add a hat. So to do that, I'm going to create a polygon primitive sphere, and then from here I'm actually going to hit Control 1, and then I also want to just name this hat mesh. Okay, so first thing I want to do is just get this into view, and then I'm going to go to face mode, select all these faces and delete. And then from here, if you double click all these faces, we just want to put we want to make some, we want to give this some thickness. So what you want to do with that is go to extrude faces, and then on thickness, let's say 0.2. See what that looks like. That's pretty thick. We don't want it that thick. Something like that's probably going to be fine. So 0.1, and then so from here, what we'll do, we'll just do a little bit of, whoops, make sure that you deselect all those. So if you go to object mode, and also I'm going to bring up the modeling toolkit tab on the right hand side. So I just want to go to object mode and then scale just a touch in X, not too much. And then from here, I'm going to just scale down as well. And then go to vertices, select these guys, and just kind of squish this down. So R, so just kind of squishing. Whoops. Make sure that you get all those verts selected. So, whoops. So right view, and just make sure that all those verts are selected. So make sure that you select the inner ones as well. And we can just bring those down. So I'm just grabbing these, just to kind of give us that hat kind of shape there. And then from here, what we want to do is go to edge mode, and if you just hover over an edge and then shift right click and say edge loop, insert edge loop tool, and then go to the option box and then just say reset tool. And then once you do that, just click that and then place it down towards the bottom, kind of. More towards the bottom than half, for instance. Okay, then from here we want to grab these faces. So we'll go, oops, face mode. And we'll grab, whoops, I don't want to be, so object mode. And then I'm also going to soften all the edges. So just go to, so if you're in object mode, select the object, right click and shift and say soften edges. So then we'll get soften edge. So now we have that object in object mode. We'll go to faces and then we'll select these. So these four. So the four on the side. And then from here, what I want to do is if I hit the W key, and then if you hold down Shift, you'll get an extrude mode. So I'm probably going to go with 1, 2, 3. I'm just kind of eyeballing this, just so you can kind of see that. And then if I go to vertex mode, and for these I want to select just all the front ones there. Actually, let's select, so if you hold down Q and left and go to lasso, you can actually lasso those verts. And then from here, if you just push that up, and then you can also rotate, kind of, if you want to like kind of fold the bill up like so. So from here, what I like to do is actually deselect the middle, and then from here I can actually just kind of put a little, I want this to be more flowy, like so, like that. And then from here I'm going to actually grab these guys and bring these up. And then from here grab these ones and just bring those, actually I want to bring those ones down. And then these ones I'm going to bring down as well. So just put a little bit of, just kind of put a little bill to this. So I want these verts again. I'm just going to kind of bring these up just a little bit. So from here, let's go to top view. And I'm just framing. Okay, and then I'm going to grab these guys here and just hit R to scale. I'm just going to round that out. And then I'll probably round this out a little bit as well. So just a little bit. And then back to perspective. Okay. And if you want to say like flip the bill up a little bit more, you can. So probably the best way to do that would be to top view and then Q, lasso, and then just go ahead and select all those verts. Just want to make sure I got all of them. So select all those verts, go back to perspective mode, and then just going to put a little bit more rotation, and then like so. And then you can actually just kind of tweak the shape a little bit. So just grabbing these inner ones, bring those down a little bit. All right, then what we probably want to do is just add a small bevel around this. So if we grab these edges, so here to here, oops, let's see. So let's grab this guy, all these top ones here to the bill of the hat. So grab those, and then we'll just hit bevel and 0.5. Let's go 0.4, and then maybe 2 segments. Okay, I'm just going to object mode. All right. So then from here, this will probably work just fine. It's kind of simple little hat. But as you, if you want to tweak it, you can kind of, if you want to make your own style hat that you like, you can. All right, and then, so say we want to make this a different color. So if we grab, let's say all these faces, so I'm just gonna grab a face and then double click here. So should grab the loop, but okay, so got the loop there, that loop, whoops, don't want that one, I want to go around. So these ones you're gonna have to, because they're triangles, it won't find the loop. And then I also want to grab these ones that it made in the bevel, just so that's clean. And then we want these, let's do these loops. Probably just grab, whoops. So if you hold down Control and Shift and then just drag, that'll grab all of those. So with that selected, let's make a new material. So assign new material, and we'll make a blend. And then you just want to make sure that you go to the very end is where our blend color is going to be. So turn up the color, and then diffuse, translucence off, and pick a color that you want your hat to be. I'm going to pick like a greenish color. It's not, we could do that color green, that's fine. And so from here, actually I want to turn down the spec on this, or turn it up just so it's just not as, we want this to be kind of soft. No reflectivity. It's almost kind of like a cloth. Okay, then from here, if we select inverse, now this will grab the other verts, or the other faces, and then what we want to do is assign new material, blend, and then this one, you can put your color to be kind of whatever you want here as well. So I'm going to use kind of a darker gray color. not so black, but I want this to be turned all the way off. I don't want any shine, no translucence, diffuse to be all the way up. And so we'll call this hat 2 matte. And then the other one, so I'm just going to go select inverse, that brings up this other material, and say hat 1 matte. And then just hit F8 a couple times. So there's our hat. Okay, then we can just say Control 1, and then also grab that hat mesh, and then say Edit, Delete by Type, History. And that should clean up the history on that, and then also do a Modify Freeze Transform. That should make everything 0 out and put to 1. So from here, we can just go, should be to scale. So say if we want this hat on his head, and then kind of rotate it up, tilt it if you want. However, just have some fun with it, I guess. If you want to flip it around, or however you want to do. So from here, if you take that mesh and just put it under, so have the mesh selected and then select the biped character, and we're going to parent underneath, and we'll do the same thing. So we'll just grab the, we're going to grab the top head bone and then the hat mesh and say constrain parent. Now we should be able to have that head on here. So there we go. And we'll just hit save. And we have a hat and eyes for our sphere biped character. So thanks.